like hearing my
man.
voice. I think
Get that energy up, man.
you a better energizer person. I think
Get
you're a better
that, man.
energizer and I follow.
Get that energy up, man.
Oh, we good,
What
bro. I
you
think you're a
do?
better energizer person. I think I just follow after
All right,
that.
all right, all right, bet.
Yeah.
What's good? Welcome back to the pod. We are the fourth rounders out here. We're coming down to the final couple episodes of season two. We appreciate y'all that have been rocking with us. We've had some interesting games, but before all that, thank y'all for watching, subscribing, for following us.
Not you dropping the ball like that. Oh no. Jeez, we've been doing we about to go 40 to 50 episodes in and you still messed this part up. It's insane to me.
It's because I start getting too hyped up and I forget like the
Yeah,
order of
calm
what I'm
down a
supposed
little
to.
bit.
All right.
Calm down. Relax.
Oh,
Is that how you calm it? Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Welcome back, guys. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. If you're
Yes.
watching this on YouTube, share the channel with your friends. Also, go enjoy some other content that we have on our channel. And, like those videos too. That'll help us out, and we appreciate you. If you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple podcast, make sure you leave a 5-star rating. Help us out, get the word out there that we out here. We talking about football and some other stuff, that comes up out of nowhere. Like last week we talked about Keith Lee. That was cool. But we mainly football. So, like I said, appreciate for all of you that have been listening or watching us this entire season. And it's been a wild season. And like I said, it's come down to an end. Got a couple episodes left. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this season with us. Stick around for season 3. We'll be coming out this summer in a theater near you.
All right, bro.
Something
Stop
like
putting
that.
20.
I don't
Something like
know.
that. I
But
don't know what you're
appreciate
talking
y'all, man.
about.
What's up, Tweez? What you doing, bro?
How
How
you
you
doing,
doing? You
man?
got a
I'm all right.
bald head.
Yeah, I'm all right, man. You know what I'm saying? I got a haircut last week, so I'm borderline bald, so it's okay though.
You usually wear a
I'm a,
hat though, but today you haven't worn a hat.
yeah, I didn't feel like throwing on a hat today. I was lazy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm borderline bald. It's cool though. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna cut it off eventually, but I'm
Did
gonna
you
rock
know
it out till I can't no more.
44% of women like bald men?
I'm cool, but I got mine already, so I'm
Yeah.
good. Like I
But
ain't
I'm
gotta
just
worry
saying,
about that.
like, you don't
Oh
gotta be
yeah.
stressing out if you a dude and you losing
Oh
your hair
yeah.
because women
Yeah.
do like bald men too. So
Exactly. I
ain't
think
nothing to be
the
stressing out.
To be fair, I think the baldness is like a young man's game because like as you're young, you don't want to be bald, right? Like most girls
Oh
like the
yeah.
hair, luscious hair, nice body and shape, this that there. As you get older, as long as you look like Michael Jordan or something, you straight. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You look like Michael
Michael
Jordan.
Jordan, you straight. You got the Michael Jordan click. Because, like, most guys don't, like, a lot of black men don't have bald. Like, they're usually bald as they get older. And it's usually because of
Yeah.
stress, but that's neither here nor there. We ain't gonna talk about that.
I'll be
But,
stressing out, bro.
yeah, so I ain't tripping. Like, I mean, I don't know. I know it's eventually coming for me, but I'm gonna just rock it. But like this, I'm gonna rock it till I can't no more. I ain't really
Hmm.
had no complaints, so whatever. But
Do you
yeah,
feel
no.
like do you feel like guys, as soon as they see their hairline going, they should just like shave it off, or should they like try to hold on as long as they can until it just looks weird?
Um, I mean, I don't know, bro. I think I'm 50-50. I think that there's nothing wrong with wanting to keep it. I mean, it's kind of just up to you, bro, how you want to wear it. Whatever makes you feel more confident in yourself, right? Like
Yeah.
whether it's bald or whether it's not, then do it, right? Obviously, there's some things that just look crazy. Like even to certain people, the way I got it now looks crazy, but I don't care. I like it, so that's what I'm gonna wear.
Hmm. Because
But I
I
know
don't know if
it.
you've seen, but like there's this new hairstyle that dudes be getting to where they actually like get bangs and they like line up the bangs to look like a hairline.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I thought it was a thing that like dudes were doing when they were like going bald, like you just comb your hair to the front and then you
Mm-hmm.
like cut in the hairline.
Yeah, yeah,
But a lot of guys are doing that aren't losing their hair too. So I was like,
yeah.
okay, that's kind of weird, but
What they call it, preservation or preserving rather.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm indifferent about it. I don't really have like a I'm not standing on one side of the fence. It's like if you like it, cool. If not, cut it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because eventually I am gonna cut it just to see what I look like bald, like really, really bald, like
Uh-huh.
milk dud bald. I'm gonna
Yeah.
cut it See,
Like polish your
um,
forehead, give me 25
yeah,
cent.
yeah, for sure. But I mean, until then, man, I'm gonna just rock what I got, man. And hey, I ain't got no complaints so far. So, and mostly it's usually dudes that say something. Girls usually be like, they be understanding. Women be
Yeah.
understanding. Some women would tell you to cut the shit off, but they be more understanding because they understand that they do BBLs, they got makeup, they got all type of shit. So like, they know what they be doing, right? For
Yeah.
guys, motherfucker look at you and be like, "Hey, yo, fam, what you doing?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You look crazy.
Yeah.
So, uh,
Yeah. It'd
it
be
is what
wild and
it is what it is. But
yeah.
yeah,
I
man.
feel like us guys, our thing is like our facial hair. Like I feel like facial hair is the makeup for guys.
Yes and no. I think it's the hair. I think
What do you
it's the
mean?
hair. I think most men, if you had an option to have either a full head of hair or a beard, I think people will go hair, like on top of your head. So
Really?
if you have either or, if you could go beard or head of hair, which one would you pick?
I would go beard.
Really? I would too, though. Don't get
I
me
would rather
wrong.
go beard
But
than full head of hair.
but I think that if you had a choice, I think if most men had a choice to have a beard or a full head of hair, I think people would pick a full head of hair.
I'm
So
gonna
like
ask
either
that question to
yeah,
at work because I when I
yes.
be sitting there with the boys and like, we just be thinking of like random things to talk about because like I finished the lesson with them. I'm
Uh-huh.
like I try to think of questions to ask them that can like get them
Oh yeah, for
arguing with
sure.
each
That's a
other.
great question. That's a great question to
But
have.
if you had to choose either
Yeah.
hair or a beard, what would you choose?
So like so it's either you have a full head of hair and a full head of hair, but you have no facial hair, or you have a beard and you're completely bald. It's one or the other. You got to pick one.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think for me personally, just because I kind of know what I look like bald headed now, I
Uh-huh.
would still pick a beard. But I
Yeah.
think most people, if they're so used to seeing themselves with facial hair, would probably be facial hair. I mean, with hair on top of their head, they probably pick hair on top of their head. Because there's some people that can go. Because for me, I think I could still pull off a hair on top of my head with no facial hair. I would just look very young,
Mm.
look ridiculously young. Like I should
Yeah.
probably still be in high school.
Yeah, having a beard or like facial hair, it makes you look a lot older than you are.
Exactly. So I think that would be my only thing. Hold on one second. I'm gonna plug this in. 'Cause,
Yeah, your microphone be tripping.
yeah.
I've been thinking about getting a new microphone.
Worry about it. I'm thinking about it
It's
too.
because my
I
son bit this one up. I don't know if you can see, but
huh?
it's like open. My son bit it when he was
He
like 2 years
bit it?
old. Yeah,
No.
I found him one time and he was like chewing on it. You see, there's like a
Yeah.
piece right here came off.
Yeah.
And like, yeah. So I was like, I might get a new one, but I don't
I
know. It
think
still
my thing
works.
I think my thing is just so for some reason I think the adapter that I have connected to it, it kind of disconnects itself. And I don't know if that's a wiring issue or not. So I think I'm gonna have to get another adapter. Because I like the
Mhm.
headset. I think the headset stuff works fine. And especially now that I figured out how to work this little stance, I don't even have to hold it no more.
What is the thing that's in front of your microphone? What's that
That
cover that?
that's the whatever the I don't know. It came with the stand.
I know it did, but like I don't get the use for it.
I think it helps focus the voice to the microphone. That way you ain't gotta hold it to your mouth. So if I talk, it's just gonna funnel it down there. That's why you can hear me clear, but it's not near my mouth. My guess. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. And I'm pretty sure
Okay.
that's exactly how it works, but whatever.
Yeah. Leave in the comments if you know how it works so that we
Yeah,
can
all you
get
tech
educated
people.
over
I
here.
graduated from the tech academy, but I didn't get that far into tech. Like this is what it is. But
Yeah.
anyway, man. Yeah. How about you, man? How you doing? Everything cool? Life is good? Family good?
Yeah. I mean, I got
Yeah.
mad at this lady today because she was being dumb on the road. Out it's when people are like intent to like their intent is to make a turn, but they don't get in the turning lane, so they just stop in the lane that's supposed to go straight.
Yes.
That is the dumbest thing ever, and I hate people that do that. Like, if you miss a turn, don't stop all of traffic just because you missed the turn and just sit there and there's a green light in front of you and you're like, "No, I need to turn. I just missed the line to get in." And it's
Yeah.
like, bro, like people got places to go. We got stuff to do. Like, if anything, just go to the next light, make a U-turn and get on take that turn that way. But it's like, why you
I'm
just gonna sit?
50-50.
What?
I'm 50-50. I'm not
You
gonna
will
lie.
block traffic and just sit there in the lane?
Well, I'ma just hog whoever. I'ma just hog whoever's making this right. Like if it's people in my way, I'ma just try to hog. But either way, go the people behind me go have to wait. Like it is just is what it is. You got to fight me. So
Oh my
yeah, I'm one
god.
of them people.
You're one
Like it
of
depends on.
them?
I think it depends. It depends. Like
Oh.
I think it's an all case by case basis. But I think when I observe the traffic and I see like what it looks like as far as like I guess how many people. I don't know what calculation I really make up in my head,
Okay,
but
let's
there's
let's say you need to make a left-hand turn coming up at the
yes,
light. There's only one lane that turns left. There's three
yes,
cars in that lane.
yes,
You pull up in the lane next to it that only goes straight, and you
straight,
stop
yeah,
right at the front and
yeah,
put your blinker on to turn.
yeah. Oh, I'm either going to either smash in front of the first person or wait to the last
But
person.
your light's
One or the other.
green and there's cars
Yeah,
coming behind you.
go around me.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you why. 9 times out of 10,
Oh
I'm gonna tell you
my
I'm gonna
god.
tell you this.
So
The
that's it for
this
the podcast, guys. We ain't never doing another
I'm just
episode
saying.
again.
I'm
Please
telling you
have a
right
good
now. No, no.
time.
Can I explain my case? I think most
Oh
times when you
gosh.
see that situation, I'm pretty sure there's a lane to the right that you could just go around and go straight. Right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but
Nine
there's
times out of
like
10,
traffic, there's cars coming that in that lane.
exactly. So
So
I'm
now I
going this.
gotta wait for all the cars on this lane to clear so I could go around you
Oh
versus
yeah,
you
for sure.
just do the right thing
Bam.
and go.
Okay. Fair enough, but fair. Let me ask you something. What you so much in a rush for? You can't wait?
Some people gotta get to work.
Why you leaving for work so late?
I wasn't. I was on my way back to the office because I had just finished up a group. And I'm like, all right, let me go back to the office. It's lunchtime. Let me do my thing. And then, let me work right after that. But I'm like on my way, and the lady in front of me stops in the green light and turns her blinker on to go left because she didn't get in the lane to go left. And
Did
I'm
you
like,
do did
bro,
wait, did that happen on Parkway, didn't it? On 23rd?
no, no,
Oh, okay.
no,
I thought I was gonna say, cause look, yeah,
no.
'cause I was like, I damn near know exactly where that shit happened at. I definitely knew.
No,
But
you know
yeah.
where it's at. I'm not gonna say where it's at, but
Yeah,
you know
yeah, yeah, for
where it
sure.
happened
Okay.
at. If I tell you,
Got
you
you.
know exactly where it's at.
Yeah, got you.
Um, but yeah,
Yeah,
but
man.
like, okay, if you stop in the at the light and it's green and you put your blinker
Hmm.
to go left, like
Yeah.
yeah, you gonna cause traffic. And let's say there's nobody going in the lane next to
Yeah.
me. All right, fine. I'm just gonna go around you.
Yeah.
But if there's cars going next to me and there's cars in your lane, there's me and there's other cars behind me that are all stopped because of you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, you gotta go,
Yeah.
bro. Like you're stopping
Yeah.
traffic. You still gonna
Yeah.
stop and just sit there?
I will only go straight if I feel like there's absolutely no way I can turn left. That's it. I think most
You
times than
wouldn't
not,
just
I'm gonna
go
try
to the
to.
next light, make a U-turn, and come back?
No, that's how Lester work. That's how Lester work. Like I'm not trying to do all that. I fucked up, right?
Hold
I
on,
fucked up, right? I
hold
messed
on.
up.
I didn't call Maya.
No, 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 no. Don't talk to don't
I
call.
didn't call Maya.
No, you know, you ain't
See
gotta
what
call
she
it.
said.
Cause she'll probably do the same thing. That's the crazy part. She would do the
No,
same thing.
no, I think
Okay,
it's
you
you.
can call her after the record. I promise you, she'll probably say the same thing.
Okay.
Because she's
Okay.
worse than me. She's worse than me. Where she want to get to a certain spot, she gonna get there.
Oh
Period.
my
I'm just
gosh.
saying, bro. It kind of is what it is. Anyway, man. I mean, we could talk about all the traffic stuff at a later day, man. Let's get on to this football, man. We
Oh
had another
man.
lovely week, man, of divisional round football. You know, we had a lot of slew of games. Well, we had a few, right? Couple surprises, more or less. Couple of almost L's, so to speak. But we're gonna talk about the first game in the books, man. We're gonna talk about Houston versus Baltimore. Houston being the fourth seed, Baltimore being the first seed. The score ended in 10 to score ended 34-10. Obviously, the Ravens coming out with the victory. I'll start first to give my take of the game. First and foremost, I couldn't really watch the whole game. The first time I had to double back and watch it. Obviously, I think in the beginning of the game, the Ravens definitely were a bit rusty or just a little bit slow to get going. But definitely still was able to hold Houston. I mean, Houston didn't score all game. Just to be honest, outside of the punt return, they didn't do nothing. Um, so, shout out to the Bravest defense was definitely on timing. More or less kind of similar to what we did when we played them week one. Just had them in a lot of very uncomfortable positions. The defense that we play with the match covers is definitely harder for a rookie quarterback to definitely disguise and to abuse rather. So very, not really the score I expected. I expected the game to be a bit closer. However, I definitely expected that result. Lamar showed why he is him. First half, like I said, they came out slow. Definitely, you could tell that the rust from not playing a week definitely played a factor. And but the second half was the rest was a case of its own. Definitely two different teams that came out to that game. In the second half, we showed why we were the number one seed in the AFC. Pretty much straight domination. Lamar 2 touchdowns passing, 2 touchdowns running, 100 very efficient night, 60 for 22, 152 with 11 rushes for 100 yards. As far as I'm concerned, that's my MVP. So, he's just doing what he do best. Shout out to the defense, another lockdown game. Probably the best defense in the NFL right now in the playoffs. And yeah, man, it was just another game, man, where we took care of business and we move on to the next round, man. But shout out to the Texans, man. I want to say first and foremost, hell of a season. CJ Stroud is definitely going to probably be in the top 5, top 10. Well, a lot of people probably got him top 10 now. I won't put him there yet. I kind of want to see what happens in the second year.
Disrespectful.
I'm a second year. I want to see because the sophomore year is always interesting because now they got film on you, see how you play. But for a first year, I will give him a damn near an A as far as his performance this season. I give him an A. I don't think I could have asked for anything better for a
Mm-hmm.
rookie quarterback to take a team that was damn near, I think, had one of the worst records last year to turn that
Mm-hmm.
around and to get to the divisional. It's very impressive. So
Oh, really?
yeah, very impressive.
Oh.
Very impressive. You know what I'm saying? So
Wonder if any other quarterbacks have done that recently.
yeah,
Rookie
yeah, no, 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 no.
quarterbacks
Well,
gone
for
to,
sure, for sure. And I
divisional
think I get
championships,
yeah, for sure.
twice,
When no, 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 for sure.
so.
And
Hmm.
what, but to be fair, if you want to be nasty, you acting like he had the same team that CJ Stroud had. Did he
Hmm.
have an all pro running back? No. Did he
Hmm.
have an all pro receiver? No. Did he have an
Hmm.
all pro tight end? No.
Hmm.
Did he have an all pro offensive line? No. Did he
Okay.
have an all pro defense?
Yeah.
No.
Hmm.
So like
Hmm.
you can't play that game when it comes to him if you want to do that because clearly the talent that CJ Stroud had to be way more than what the guy in San Francisco had to be if you want to go there
Yeah.
already. But I'm
Oh,
not gonna
okay.
do that yet.
Oh,
We can save
okay.
that for
Yeah.
another. We can save that for the next
No.
segment.
No, it's okay. The
However,
the
regardless
disrespect
of the
is
fact,
wild. But okay.
say less. Either way it go. Shout out to CJ Stroud, rookie of the year, offensive rookie of the year. He's going to be very deserving. He earned that. Shout out to the defense. They definitely didn't come out to play that well, but they wasn't really that good to begin with. But they definitely are something. But that team is moving in the right direction, and it's going to be scary knowing what they could do to move forward. Um,
Yeah.
and
They
yeah,
just got to
shout out.
get that defense locked down a little bit more and
Yeah,
get a
yeah,
couple,
but I think
maybe
that
get
comes with
one more
time and
weapon.
experiences. I think, yeah, time and experience. I was definitely agree with you with that. I think another wide receiver that can help Nico Collins. However, Tank Dell did get hurt earlier in the year,
Mm.
so that's somebody that he probably could have used this game, with his deep threat ability, because Nico Collins really didn't do much. We pretty much did. Wasn't really. He was pretty much a no show. But I mean, 5 for 68 is cool, but it wasn't really moving the needle.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. And obviously, we just ran the ball down their throat. They really had no answer for us. And then, as soon as they bring the safeties in, we did play action. It was not. They really didn't have an answer. So, it's just
Yeah.
another great Ravens game, man. Just simple as that. Yeah, we move on to the next round, man. What's your take about it, sir?
What can I say after all that? No, I 100% agree with you with what you said so far. Um, well, I'll start with CJ Stroud. This dude, yeah, he deserves to get that rookie of the year. Um, him and Nakua both went crazy, but I think because of how far CJ Stroud took the Texans, he definitely does deserve that award. He's gonna be deadly these next couple years coming up, especially if they do decide to like put some put some weapons around him, and him learning and just developing as a quarterback, he's gonna be very, very scary pretty soon here. Um, when it comes to the Ravens, I mean, there's nothing too much you could say. 8 is a huge problem. He's a very, very big problem for the league. Y'all finally released him. He was not getting his carries for those past couple weeks ending the season and finally playoff time. So they're finally giving him the ball, letting him use his legs. And he had 100 rushing yards. He had more yards than the running backs. He had more yards than the wide receivers had with receiving. So 8 is a big problem. He is a very, very big problem. So it's gonna be very difficult, for KC this next week to be able to contain him. But yeah, Lamar, I still have Mahomes ahead of Lamar, but it's hard to even say that. Like Lamar is really showing that he is that guy. But Mahomes also has shown that he is that guy, and Mahomes has a couple rings already. So, and he's been doing some great things. So I still would put Mahomes as number one and Lamar number two. But it's really hard now seeing what Lamar's been doing. That defense is still really, really scary, even though I think they didn't perform to like the greatest where they're getting like a ton of turnovers and stuff like that, but they were getting a lot of stops. So that's what counts is they're able to stop them to make them give the ball back. So, but hey, y'all did your thing. Y'all did your thing. It was a little scary there in the beginning because it was kind of going a little bit back and forth. But once you guys came out in that second half, you're like, all right, let's see, let's turn it on. And you all
Yeah.
just started running plays to get Lamar get his legs going, and that's kind of what sealed the deal for you guys. So congrats on all that.
Yeah, man. It's like I said, man, it wasn't a crazy game. I think that, like I said, I think the first half we kind of just got our jitters out. Definitely played a little timid. Definitely just the energy wasn't there. But luckily we were still able to end that half 10-10, right? And with us not
Yeah.
playing nowhere near our best half. And like I said, the second half, that was just a
It's
complete
wild that
switch.
they didn't score a touchdown though. That's the
You know,
wildest part.
that's what I'm saying.
Because
So like
it's
I
not
said,
like y'all was picking them off the whole time or you guys were
just
like
simple,
hitting
straight
dudes
up
getting
lockdown
fumbles.
defense.
You're just locking them
Locked
down. 3 and out. Get out
lock
of here. Get off the
Get
field.
up lockdown defense, man. And that's what it really matters in the playoffs. Can you get stops? And I think we really did that, especially coming from Houston, Texas. They just put up 40, 35, 40 points against the Browns, which was one of the other best defenses in the league. I'm pretty sure a lot of people came in and thought they were going to do the same thing to us, and clearly it's levels. So, um,
Yeah.
like I said,
Definitely
shout out
is.
to the Ravens defense. I definitely could give them the game ball for the day. Obviously Lamar, he does what he does.
Yeah.
I mean, you give him talent, you see what he
Yeah.
does. So it is what it is. We already know that. And he got a tough matchup against him. You know what I'm saying? Moving forward, man. He got to deal with Pat Mahomes. But let's move on, man. That was nothing like, man. Let's get to the meat and
Oh
potatoes, man.
gosh.
The big matchup. You feel me?
Game of the week.
Game of the week. Well, I'll say second. Well, I mean, you can kind of no, it
It
wasn't
was
game
game
of
of
the
the week.
Nah, it wasn't. The Bills and the Chiefs was definitely game of the week. But the Niners and the Green Bay was the
Okay.
second best. I'll say Green Bay in the second, and the Green Bay and the Niners game was the second best game, in my opinion. Um, but
Okay.
Bills and Kansas City was definitely game of the week. It wasn't even close. Y'all like this. Y'all made it the game of the week because of how bad y'all played. Let's be honest. Um,
Yeah,
but
it's
moving
true.
along, man. The Niners, squeak out a win against the Packers, 24-21. Against the 7 seed Packers, what happened to have a rookie quarterback somehow, some way found their way to almost losing this game. Um, I'm gonna start by you, man. What is your take for this game? What were your thoughts during the game? And yeah, I'll let you go ahead and rock, man.
I
Get
think
your
this was the most stressed I've been this season so far.
Oh, I
Um,
know.
we should
I
not
know.
we should not have won this game if I'm completely honest. The Niners should not have won.
I did not think you would admit that.
I'll admit it. I'll
Wow.
admit it. The defense was horrible. Secondary got exposed again. They were just not locked down this time. I mean, they were slipping, and sliding all over the field, which they should not be doing. But I guess they're not used to it. Purdy started off the game with a glove, but then he took the glove off because I guess he didn't like it. But it's hard for him to throw a ball in the rain when the ball is wet. He can't really throw it very well. Um, but for some reason, he was able to come out there and just perform to his best of his abilities to just hold it down for us, not really take over the game, but he held it down so that they can actually have a chance. But I don't think we should have won this game. Jordan Love, he's really good. Um, I think he's still in my like top 15. I would have put him in my top 10 yet. Where CJ Stroud, I would definitely put CJ Stroud in my top 10. But Jordan Love, he's on his way. He's rookie quarterback too. He's learning. He's a great replacement for Aaron Rodgers. We thought Green Bay was going to fall off once they lost Aaron Rodgers, but they didn't. Jordan Love came in and kind of just took up where he left off. um, Aaron Jones, he did his thing. I thought we were going to be able to contain him a little more, but we weren't. For some reason, he was able to, make a few runs there for really big yards. But the Niners, I don't know, they just were not clicking. Um, I, I don't know why, but I am having a hard time with the Niners defensive line because we are just not getting as many sacks as we are supposed to be getting. It is weird how much money we have on the defensive line and how many sacks we don't have. Jordan Love, he had like a lot of plays where he had too much time, to where our guys were just like pushing, but they could not get to him. And that kind of cost us a little bit. I don't know, man. If we play the way we played last week, this next week, versus the Lions, we are not gonna win. Um, it's not even. Yeah, the Lions are a good team. Like these guys, we'll talk about them in a minute. But for us to play the way that we did this past week, we can't expect to beat the Lions like that. We have to play top tier just the way we always do. And then it was like at the end of the game, we were having that last drive to score to be able to win the game. And they were like super close within like the 5 yard line. I was standing on my feet. I was like, please God, give it to McCaffrey. Do not let Purdy throw this ball right now. Like it is not his day. Do not let him throw the ball. Please give it to McCaffrey. Let him just run it in there. And he did, and he was able to score, and we won the game because of that. So oh my goodness. It was the most stressful time as a Niner fan to watch this past game. We don't like Green Bay because we're always playing them in the playoffs. It's Green Bay or the Cowboys. We always gotta, eliminate them. But boy, especially when we seen Debo, Debo go back to the locker room. It was like first quarter, and he came out with no pads on. I'm like, this man got no pads on. Why he got no pads on? What is going on? He did pads.
Yeah, that
Put
was
them pads on,
nuts.
bro.
That was
Oh
nuts.
my goodness. When Debo came out with no pads on, I was like, we are really gonna struggle this game. I don't know what it is. I mean, I feel like we got so many weapons, but for some reason, when Debo's not on the field, our team just does not click. And it's like, dude, like Jennings is out there making great plays, making great catches, running great routes. I know he's not Debo, but he's good. And then you got Brandon Ayuk out there. They got to double team him because they know that if you don't, like you can't stop him. You can't lock down
Hmm.
Brandon Ayuk if you only got one corner on him. You gotta double team him. And
Yeah.
then George Kittle, like, come on, you throw to George Kittle, he'll just grab it and start running people over and carrying people to the end zone with him. So it's like we got these weapons that you can still hit even if Debo's not there. But for some reason, when Debo's on the field, they just don't click. So it's like, stop giving it to Purdy to throw, give it to McCaffrey, let him start running some dudes over, then give it to Purdy so McCaffrey can take a break, give it back to McCaffrey. So I don't know. Shanahan's been a little bit questionable with his play calling lately. Ooh. He's been a little bit questionable. I don't know what he sees. Sometimes I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, what you need to be doing. The plays you need to be calling the people that need to get the ball in their hand, and you're just not doing it. It's like he's trying to give the game away. It's just weird, but yeah. But hey, Brock Purdy didn't play really good. He did not play good. He didn't play that bad, but he did not play good. Um, like I said, he barely held it down for us to be able to get that win. But for him to be in the league for 2 years and make it to the NFC Championship both times already, he need to be talked about more. I don't
Who?
know, Brock Purdy.
Oh,
He need to be talked about more. I feel
as
like
far
there's a
as
lot
what?
of, I feel like there's a lot of shade that comes to Brock Purdy for some reason. If it was anybody
Mm-hmm.
else but Mr. Irrelevant in that position, I feel like we would
Mm-hmm.
be looking at him like a god. But for some
Mm-hmm.
reason, because it's Brock Purdy, he always gets shade, and that everybody just hates on him for some reason. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
he's not a bad quarterback, you guys. Like I get he's not Mahomes, he's not Lamar, but like
Mm-hmm.
he's not a bad quarterback. Like he's out there
Yeah.
doing his thing. He was like
Yeah.
number one in like most of the categories when it came to stats for the entire
Yeah.
season. And
Mm-hmm.
still no shine, no flowers. And he finally had a uh what is it called? A
He had a clutch drive. He had a clutch
yeah, he
drive.
had to have a clutch
A clutch
drive. He
drive.
finally got that, and that's what you and other people were saying is that, oh, I haven't seen him, lead the team down the field to win the game yet. He finally did it, and what happened? He's still getting no love. So, man, whatever. Just because the Niners, everybody hate us, but whatever, man, whatever. So that was my take on the game. I don't think there's really anything else. I mean, Greenlaw showed why he should have been a Pro Bowler. Because he's over here getting these picks, and I was yelling at the screen, telling him to
Mm-hmm.
sit down when he got the ball.
Mm-hmm.
This dude was trying to find a way
Oh,
to get a
he tried
pick
to
six.
score.
He was trying to score, and I was like, bro, it is raining. There is somebody that could come up behind you and just smack the ball out of your arms. Can you just get on the ground? Like we were screaming at the TV, like, get on the ground, get on the ground. It's just like, get on the ground. Like you don't even know what we talk about.
Mm. Yeah.
But yeah.
That's close.
So I can't remember anything else that happened in the game that I need to talk about. So go ahead, your turn.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. I was gonna say you might want to breathe for a minute because you just went and no breath in between. Take your time. It's okay, bro. I know it was very heavy winded of you for that answer.
It's so
Um,
stressful.
it's so stressful. I can tell. I can hear it in your response from that game. As a non as an unbiased fan that watched the game, I agree. I think I agree with a lot of your sentiments. Right. I think that the Niners definitely came. The performance was very underwhelming. Obviously, I think they suffered for what we say that we suffered from. I think they were a bit rusty. Unfortunately, it definitely almost came back to bite them. Um, the Green Bay established a run game early. I think it was pretty evident, man. Aaron Jones had a hell of a night. It literally felt like he couldn't anything. Anytime he put the ball in his hands, he was getting yards. Breaking tackles, making people miss, catching it out the backfield. He was literally a one man army. Um, Jordan Love had a hell of a game. Um, definitely made some rookie mistakes in the end, especially with the throw at the end. I know he basically, literally, him and Brett Favre had the same pass. It was unreal. But as somebody that was watching this game, so like, I didn't really get to watch the game. I had to sit down. Luckily, I got YouTube TV so I could record and now just rewatch the game. Um, and I thought that the Green Bay, I think in my opinion, I think Green Bay played the better game. But they made crucial mistakes at the end. I think, you know, Jordan Love was playing pretty well, making the right passes. He was making the right plays. He was playing very smart. The Niners D line definitely didn't show up to play at all. It was very surprising. Um, it didn't feel like Nick Bosa was making a difference. Now, maybe that might have been the defensive scheme to not let him run, but I don't really consider Jordan Love a dual threat that much. So I don't know what they were afraid of in that instance. Um, so I don't know. I've heard that be the reason why they wasn't really so aggressive trying to make trying to get pressure on them. However, I mean, if you look out through the season, the Niners are ranked, I think, like 10th in sacks. And as far as pressures, I think they're a little bit lower than that. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They're ranked 13th. So they're close to the middle of the pack. Mind you, like you said, with the amount of money that y'all spent on the D line, you would think they'll be at least in the top three, if not number one. So clearly that's definitely something that might want to be looked at, moving forward as far as the lack of production from the D line, because that definitely, the game is won in the trenches. So if the D line is not playing up to expectation, that could definitely cost you. And especially going against a team like Detroit in the next round where they're number one in pressures of the quarterback. And they made, let me see, it looked like, oh, they're definitely a little bit worse than y'all as far as sacks concerned, but the amount of pressure that could create with a player like Brock Purdy, that could become a problem. But back to the game, and like I said, it was still a very good game. A dogfight. in my opinion. Obviously, the weather conditions definitely played a factor. Brock Purdy did not want the ball. He kept rubbing his hands. He was looking very, he was looking very sporadic in moments. Like I said, he definitely didn't have a best performance, but I mean, when it was time to go, he was ready. Made the hell of a drive at the end, for McCaffrey to run it in. Um, there's some people I watched that had, issues with certain calls that the Packers did get in their favor, but to me, I didn't really think that was the biggest ordeal. I think that one of the biggest moments, like I said, I think was the interception. I think the two interceptions by Jordan Love. The other one was just a missed pass that he threw behind the shoulder. It got tipped. Brett caught it, fine. But the last one to, hopefully get the game into overtime, I think that was unnecessary. It was literally first down, and he just chucked it like it was fourth down. He had no other option but to just throw it to somebody down there. And I think that was a rookie mistake. I think he'll learn from that. Um, but yeah, just to put a pin on it, like I said, I think the Green Bay Packers definitely should be excited for what they got moving forward. I think they got something special down there in Green Bay. Usually it feels like when Green Bay plays the Niners, it really feels like they're close games, but it always feels like the Niners is like going to bully the Packers at a certain point. It didn't feel like that this game. It felt like, oh, the little brother got strong, huh? Okay, let's play. And literally by the chinny chin chin, they got through. So, nevertheless, the win is a win. You definitely kind of got your side eye on the Niners, like, okay, is this what y'all hopefully y'all don't bring this into next week. Debo being hurt, I don't really know the status on that. So that can be something that we kind of want to pay attention for because
Well,
it
they said
definitely
that
does.
after the MRI they showed that there was no like fractures or like anything torn. It's just like a sore shoulder, and it said that
Yeah.
he's still questionable because it's hurting him really badly.
Yeah.
But they're hoping he'll be ready for Sunday.
Right. But that's scary though, because Debo's a very physical receiver. He needs the shoulder to be able to tussle and be able to run people over and stiff arm and all that. So that would be something that you would have to definitely be really cautious of going into the next game. And on top of that, um, what I was gonna say, that had a great point. I completely forgot. You know how your brain go dead? I really had a brain fart. But like I'm gonna just say this, like that performance that they had, you know, oh, that's what I was gonna talk about. With Debo not being in the offense, like you said earlier, I don't know what it is. The offense doesn't really look the same. It looks very limited. I was told that, Brock Purdy is a top 5, top 10 quarterback, so he should be able to handle that issue, right? But hey
I mean,
man,
he still won a game without Debo, so we
for
got to give him
sure,
some
I
kind
give
of
you that. I
credit.
will I will give you that. However, you bring that type of game against Detroit or against us again, if we meet y'all, or against Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, if y'all win, you're going home with an L, and you know that. You know you're going home with that. You know you're going home with an L. If that's the performance y'all
Hey,
bring,
hey, it's like if
if
Tyreek
if
Hill wasn't playing and is out there like with just Jalen Waddle. Like it's like I don't know.
well, no, because you got Brandon Ayuk, you got Gary, you got George Kittle, you have Christian McCaffrey, you have options. It ain't most teams when they lose their star player on an offense that's not their quarterback. Usually, it's it goes from lit to shit. Like y'all still without Debo have 3 Pro Bowlers.
Yeah.
3 Pro Bowlers, and that's bad. No other team has that many Pro Bowlers on offense and seems to struggle when one of the players get hurt.
Hmm.
So for me, that's why when you put Brock Purdy in this conversation, like I said, I don't think the issue is nobody thinks he's not good. Nobody's never said that Brock Purdy's not good. When you start putting him in these top 5 conversations, being delusional because you want to
He's a
have him in this
top five
conversation,
quarterback.
right? But he doesn't do top 5 quarterback things. And top 5 quarterback things is that if players get hurt, you are the game changer. You are the game changer. So, yes, he won the game. I will give him that. He definitely made the great job and all
Game
that
winning drive.
for sure. Are you going to bake him to do that again? Are you going to bake on that?
We
Are
kind
you
of have
confident?
to.
Are you no? Don't say you have to. Are you confident that he can do that again?
If it came down to it, yeah.
No, and I'm not. That's where we split because I don't think so.
You don't think he could ever do a game-winning drive again?
I'm sure he can, but you got to keep in mind you asking him to do that against either the Detroit Lions that have a pretty good defense, and you're going to ask him to do that against us or the Chiefs that have one of the better defense in the league. I don't want to trust. I don't want to put my hands in that. I'm sorry. Even as a Niner fan, I don't want the game to come down to Brock Purdy hands. Yes, he hit this game winner against them. He did that part. I don't want that problem personally. Now,
So
if
you're
it's
just saying that
15,
Green Bay's defense ain't really like that to be celebrating
I
over.
think Green Bay. I think Green Bay defense was solid, but I think they definitely wore down. I think they made a lot of mistakes at the end, at end of the game. But I think they wore down as the game progressed because of the run game. And I think that, like I said, I give Brock Purdy his dues. I think he really played really well. However, we've seen what he looks like against good defenses when he has limited weapons.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I think
Sorry.
his kryptonite is when you rush him and like you actually break the O line. Because that's
Mm-hmm.
basically what happened with you guys is you guys blitzed him a lot. If
We
Brock Purdy
blitzed him. We
has
sent him good.
if Brock Purdy has no time, he's gonna make a lot of mistakes. But if you give Brock Purdy time, oh, he's dotting you up all game. If he's got time. Because
Yeah.
he's shown that he can throw like really, really good and very accurately if he has time in the pocket. But it's
Mhm.
once the pocket starts collapsing like too fast, that's when the mistakes come in.
Yeah, and it's hard for him, and also too, what helps with that is also taking away or disguising the read. So, like I said, when you have people that can mix up coverage and make things look a certain way, but it's not, that one like because a lot of Brock Purdy plays is I'm gonna get it and I'm gonna look for the first read, and usually it's the first read right there, and I got to scramble. That's when stuff gets kind of iffy for him. So as long as you can make him negate the first read and go to somebody else, then that's when it's the struggle. So I don't know, man. Like I said, salute to the Niners. Hell of a game. Definitely a great comeback win. Like I said, the defense definitely played a little underwhelming for me per se. The D line has definitely been something that's been an issue all year, and it seemed like y'all continue to keep going for D line, and they definitely have not given y'all the production that y'all paid for.
Yeah.
Like I said, the linebacking core has been the best outside of probably Baltimore that we have in the league. The secondary has definitely been, I ain't gonna say overachieving, but definitely been surprising. With Contavious Ward and I forgot the boy on the other
Lenore.
side, but they definitely held their own for sure. So I don't know. Like I said, the game is always won in the trenches first and foremost. And even your offensive line is not really nothing to, cry home about, like to be proud about. It ain't that I'm saying, like, for the trenches is where the game is won at. And that's low key, if anything, it's probably y'all weaknesses, if anything. Um, Outside of Trent Williams at tackle, the old line for the Niners ain't really nothing. I'm like, oh my God, they are such a good line. I'm not really worried about them. So I don't know. Like I said, this Lions game is gonna be very interesting. There's gonna be a lot of I think a lot of people probably still have y'all the favorites, respectfully.
I don't
Um,
think so.
I think so. Yeah, I think y'all will still be the
I
favorites
seen some
because
where they showed like the map of like the country and it's like
uh-huh,
the states that like what team they want to win and it was like our game and the
uh-huh,
only red was California. Everything else was
yeah,
blue because they all want the
yeah.
Lions to win.
Well, a lot of people don't like y'all, just like how a lot of people don't like the Chiefs. So like a lot of people are Ravens fans this week, just like a lot of people are Lions fans this week. This is kind of how it
Mm.
goes. Yeah, I mean, so but
You
yeah,
don't like the
man.
teams that win the chips. It's all good.
Y'all don't win chips. When the last time y'all won a chip?
Aren't we like number 3 in the most chips in
That's cool,
franchise?
but y'all ain't won a chip in 20 years. You
Since
can't say that.
95, since we were
Yeah,
born. Well, since I
you
was born.
can't say that.
Not
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. You play this when teams are winning, not winning chips. You not the Niners
Well,
you
that's
grew
why
up in,
teams
not as
don't
part of
like
that.
us. Yeah, I know. I wasn't alive. Well, I
Uh,
barely was
yeah,
born at the
yeah,
end of that decade.
yeah,
But a lot of teams that have a lot of championships, those are like the most hated teams.
yeah,
So, you know.
yeah, yeah. Well, moving along. Um, like I said, great game. Moving along, man. Tampa Bay versus Detroit. Another good playoff game, I will say. Baker Mayfield, man, very impressive year. I don't know what it is, but it seemed like when the bright lights is on, he definitely plays a lot better. Wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Wasn't enough to win this game against Detroit. Obviously,
No.
they lost 31-23. But for some reason, Baker Mayfield, like you just put him in these situations and he seems to perform time in and time out. Um, like I said, he definitely had a good game today. I'm trying to look for his stats. 26 for 41, 349, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, 94 passer rate. That's not bad. I'll take that. But unfortunately, it came down with the L. Lions move on to the conference championship. Um, Not necessarily much to take from this game. I think the Detroit Lions were pretty much the better team. I think kind of everybody knew that what this was going to be. There's really not too much insight on this. However, probably, what the questions we have probably for Detroit, can they win on the road, being outside? Definitely raises some antennas, but more or less they played a great game. I think defensively they played pretty well. Um I think it was just a really good battle, man. I think from the Bucks point of view, I think they was able to establish the run somewhat, but I mean Mike Evans showed why he's still a top tier receiver. Had a hell of a game. It's definitely going to be interesting to see where whoever looks to pick him up in the offseason because he will be a free agent. And yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm ready for the conference championship, man. But yeah, I ain't really got much to say too much about the Detroit game that much. It was kind of expected from me.
All I gotta say is y'all gotta put some respect on my boy Goffy Waffy. That boy, he a top five
Coffee,
quarterback right there.
Waffy,
He a top
ew.
five quarterback right there. You feel me? My boy over
Oh,
here, Cal Bear. It's Bear territory up here. You feel me? So yeah,
yeah,
y'all gotta put some respect on some Goffy Waffy because this dude,
Coffee,
he go
Waffy, huh?
crazy. He go crazy.
Coffee, Waffy is
Yep.
crazy.
Goffy Waffy go crazy, bro. He out
Coffee,
here
Waffy is
making teams
insane.
look like they are just horrible. Like defenses can't do nothing against him.
You are
Especially with St.
insane.
Brown. Oh boy. St. Brown with Goffy Waffy,
Oh, yeah, he was going
that's a good
crazy. St.
duo. That's
Brown,
a
I
good
think
duo.
how much St. Brown had? St. Brown had 8 for 77, 1 tug. Yeah, he was balling. Even Sam Laporta. That's who y'all got to deal with. Sam Laporta too. Y'all got to deal with them boys. So like I said, man,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a good game, man. It's gonna be a good game.
Yeah. Montgomery.
Um, Lastly, last game of the weekend. I know we took a lot of time on the Detroit and I mean not the Ravens and the San Niners, obviously, because those are our favorite teams. We don't really
Yeah.
care about these teams on the back end, but they were still good game to watch. Nevertheless, we're going to talk about the Chiefs and the Bills, man.
I will say,
What?
thank you for making me choose the Chiefs to win for the predictions.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. You know what I'm saying?
4-0. I
You're
went
welcome.
4-0.
You're welcome. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know what I mean? You make it fun, man. I mean, if I'm being honest, man, with Buffalo season, man, hell of a season. Definitely sucks for it to end this way. There's a lot to take from this game. Just to set it up, Buffalo, first of all, winning the division, coming from where they came from, being 6-6 at some point in the season, pretty much having to win out to save their season.
Mhm.
Um, and to get in a position where they had home field advantage up until the conference championship, to get a chance to play Patrick Mahomes finally at your house, a person that you probably lost to, I think what, twice now. Um, and to get him probably at his worst, right? To have him in his worst situation that he's probably had offensively. The defense is great, but offensively, this is probably the worst offensive team that Pat Mahomes has ever been quarterback of since he's been with the Chiefs. To lose this game was very disappointing. Um, First and foremost, Josh Allen, I don't have no gripe with you. I don't really think it's much else you could have did. I think you made a couple errors here and there, but for me, in my opinion, I think Josh Allen played a great game. Literally did everything. Ran the ball, passed the ball. Um,
Didn't he have like 2 tugs but from just running?
I think he had 2 tugs. I'm looking at stats right now. He was 186, 1 tug, and then he had touchdowns running. He was 12 for 72. So literally 3 touchdowns in total. You know what I'm saying? Literally was low key a 1-man army out there. But unfortunately they could not come out with the dub. Very sad. Not even say sad, but just very disappointing way to end the season. I don't know what's next for the Bills. Obviously, Stephon Diggs was another disappointing game. I feel like some reason when it comes to the playoffs, he really doesn't perform that well. This is another, more or less in the same story. Definitely didn't show up here and missed a bomb going deep. It was like
Mm.
70 yards he threw. Was just terrible. It's just, stuff like that you can't happen, especially when you got number 15 on the other side of the ball. Questionable play calling with the random DeMar Hamlin go for it on fourth down.
They said they expected nobody to tackle him because they was gonna feel bad.
Like said like that, like fam, like, are you serious? Like, this is what you running.
They lit
This
him
is
up.
what,
They
bro,
tried to
like,
send him
bro,
back to the hospital.
fam, like, is this what y'all running with y'all season on the line, bro? Like, this is what y'all
Oh
confident in
man.
running? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. It was very, very disappointing to see how this turned out. But man, salute to Pat Mahomes, man. I mean, he's him. It's literally that simple. Pat Mahomes is him. 7 for
15 is
23,
the other
215.
problem.
7 for 23, 215, two tugs, no interceptions, a 131.6 quarterback rating. His players are becoming what they were supposed to be during the whole season at the right time. Nobody's missing catches. Travis Kelce had a great game today. I mean, that day,
He
or
had two
that
tugs, right?
two tugs, 5 for 75 with two tugs. He definitely had a big game. And the defense did enough to get a win, get a couple stops. And Buffalo just, man, it's very sad, man. It's very just, it's a, that's tough, right? Like, what do you do if you're Josh Allen? Like, I keep losing to this player every single year. And the year that I finally get a chance to beat you, my kicker flicks the ball all the way to the right. It just shifts all the way to the right. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I this to me, this might have closed the window for the Buffalo Bills as far as them winning. At least
Yeah.
with this team. With this team, I will say, with this team, this window with this team as constructed is closed. Blow all of it up. Everybody got to go, but Josh Allen and James Cook. Everybody else, look, he got to go. Even the coach. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, they got to do some restructure with the team. They have a good team, but it's just unfortunately this team is not a Super Bowl team. And it's like you kind of just got to make some cuts, bring some new guys in, develop them, train them, and maybe in a couple of years you'll be back, at the top of the AFC again. But as of right now, everyone's gonna start getting old. People are gonna start leaving because they ain't winning chips, and it's just gonna get bad. Um, the main thing for this one is it was just unfortunate that Josh Allen had to play his dad. He better start calling Patrick Mahomes daddy because he
Wow.
cannot beat him. So he had to
Wow.
play his dad. That's unfortunate for him.
Wow.
He cannot beat Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes is really just that guy. Lamar and Mahomes are a legit problem. And this week they got to play each other. So we gonna see who is the real problem. And this gonna be a good game to watch. But the Chiefs in the playoffs is a different team. Like you said, they're starting to click at the right time. They looking good. They looking good.
Yeah.
Hopefully Taylor Swift can go do a concert somewhere for this week and leave Travis Kelce to go train and get things worked on so he could come out on Sunday looking nice like he did this past week. But hopefully something can distract him and get him focused because when he's on, him and Mahomes are deadly. So
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, man, he played a really good game. I mean, there was really nothing much that the Bills could do. I mean, Pat Mahomes just took what they gave him. Little, short passes here and there. Keep the chains moving. And as your quarterback, you just want them to make the right decision. And Pat Mahomes, man, is really, when you play in a great quarterback, there's not really no stopping them, but you could try to contain them as much as you can. And that didn't even work. And I'm a sole believer. Like I love Lamar, but it's like Pat Mahomes and then everybody else. And I'm not even mad if you put Lamar at 2, but like it's literally Pat Mahomes is in a class of his own. And it's not even close. Like Pat Mahomes is that guy at every chance you turn around. Like it really feel like Brady. Like you go into games like, yo, that's 15. That's
Hmm.
15. Like, are you going to beat 15?
Yeah.
You don't know. You just don't know.
You
You
know,
don't know. I
you
don't know. I
don't,
don't
you
know.
don't.
I don't know. So, man, yeah, man, it's tough, man, because the Bills, man, that was a heartbreaking L. And speaking of that, just a side note. So I guess there was a rumor about the Buffalo Bills. So, like, you know how last week, right? They was giving people food and paying people and drinks or whatever to shovel the snow out the seats, right?
Oh yeah.
So I guess they did that this week as well, but they didn't
Mhm.
feed them. It's probably why they lost. Probably
Karma.
why they lost. Karma. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. But shout out to the Bills, man. They saved their season, but unfortunately, they still did a lot to end up with nothing. And yeah, that's it. Well, here we are. To wrap up the podcast, we have the lovely predictions of the conference championship, man. We can start with the AFC. We have the Ravens versus the Chiefs. Lamar versus Patrick Mahomes. First of all, shout out to the Chiefs. Did nobody think they was gonna make it here? However, when you have 15, clearly all bets are off. As long as you got 15, you have a fighting chance. And this game is going to be a good one. I expect this game to be a good one. This is going to be exciting. I can't wait. And of course, I feel like this, I'm 10 toes in here. Of course, I'm picking my guys to win. It's not no
Okay, I was
debate.
about to say, why you like making this super long? Like you already know who you're gonna
I'm just
pick.
saying, I just want to pick my but I just want to set it up kind of in an understanding situation, man. This is a lot on the line for both sides. Well, I ain't gonna say both sides, but this to me, this is a lot of pressure for Lamar, and respectfully so. I think that you know this is the first time we're in the conference championship since we've had Lamar, which is a big old deal for us. And unfortunately, his first chance at a conference to a Super Bowl, he had to go through the player that's been to a lot of Super Bowls. So the pressure's on, but I'm not mad. If I had to go into any game against Patrick Mahomes, give me Lamar. I've been confident how he's played all year. He ain't let me down yet, and I don't see why this would be any different. I trust our defense to make stops. I'm curious to see how we're going to play him. Because obviously with Pat Mahomes, you definitely got to pick your poison. There's really no, I'm gonna shut everything down. You're gonna have to live with something. However, I think where their strengths are is our strengths as well. We have a great linebacking core that can guard Kelsey, that can handle the run game. We got great D line that can get enough pressure. We have good corners that can play the receiver that they got because their receivers are not that great. And we have great safeties on the back end that help run support and play the pass. And I think offensively is going to be very interesting, but I think we're going to run the ball. I think we'll see a heavy dose of running next week. Um, Respect to the Chiefs defense, their corners is locking everything up. I don't no receivers has had a good game against them. I don't
But
expect us to be that way.
Sneed be going crazy,
Right.
bro.
They be locking,
They
he be
said this was
locking
his first touchdown someone scored on him all season long. Was
all
this
season.
past
Yeah,
game?
he be locking shit up. So I don't expect us to be some breaker of that. But however, I think that we're going to win this game with running and with our tight ends. I think Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews will be big factors in this game this week. And I expect them to get the win. I think we win 27-24 or 27-21, something like that.
Okay,
Could be close. But obviously I got the Ravens.
okay.
Wouldn't be any other way. Yeah.
Um,
Oh, Go
I
ahead.
can I can hear anything you just said. The microphone cut out.
I was gonna say we finna be in the Super Bowl, baby.
Uh,
I can't wait,
yeah.
bro.
When
It's
you
gonna
get
be
like high,
tough.
when you get high pitched, your microphone cuts out. It
It's not
can't take
good.
it. Um,
We finna be in that mother Super Bowl. LJ,
yeah.
man. Yes, said. Eh.
So
Who you got, man?
for me,
Yeah.
I'm looking at these two teams, right?
Well, here we go with your
I'm looking
dramatic.
at the Chiefs, I'm looking at the Ravens. Then I'm looking back at the Chiefs, but I'm
Yep.
also looking back at the Ravens.
Yep.
You know what I see?
What?
I see the same dang team. It is the same team. The Chiefs and the Ravens are the same team. It's the
Do
same thing.
tell.
Every
Okay.
single position basically has the same player in that position.
Okay.
This is a
I ain't mad at
hard
that.
one. This is
Okay.
hard. So for me, I think this really comes down to 15-8, but I think it also comes down to the coaching, which both coaches are really, really good. Both have a lot of experience, both have championships behind them.
It's gonna be a
Oh,
battle. This
it's
is
the
this is
same team.
this is
It's
a
the
battle.
same
This is one of the
team.
ones. This is gonna be one of the ones for real. This is gonna be one of the ones for sure.
Okay. I'm going with the Chiefs because I think Mahomes and
Oh,
his experience in the Super Bowl and just his chips he's won, he is just that guy when it comes to playoffs. He knows how to perform well under pressure.
hmm.
I think he will be the deciding factor of this game, and I think Mahomes will pull this off and pull off an upset and beat the Ravens to go to the Super Bowl again. For him to go to the AFC Championship 6 years in a row and
He
only
to
be
go.
in the NFL
He to
for
go.
6 years
He to
is
go.
insane.
He
And
needs
he
to
already
go
he already has 2 chips or 3 chips. He has
too.
two chips.
He to go.
Yeah, it's
Top five
hard
already.
to
Top
go
five
against
already.
him of all
Top five
time,
already
of all
locked. All
time,
time.
of
Top
all
five
time.
locked already. All time.
I have to go Chiefs just because I think 15 is going to outperform 8
Uh,
just because of experience. Lamar is a great quarterback, but Lamar has not made it this far in the playoffs before, so he don't know the real feeling. So I think that's going to get him, but he's going to
mhm.
get the experience and he's going to be better next year, but I think Mahomes is going to get him.
Okay. All right. Well, I kind of expected that,
But it's
but
the same team. The same
same thing.
team.
Same thing. Now that you put it that way, now that I think about it,
It's
more
the
or less they are
same
relatively the same
team.
team. Yes, yes, more or less the same team.
Yeah.
Um. Okay. Lastly, NFC Championship. We have the
Mm.
Detroit Lions at San Francisco. Man, another one. Um, you know, pressure's on for both teams. The Lions could do something they ain't done in a long time. Go to the Super Bowl. The Niners can finally say they in the Super Bowl with Brock Purdy, man. This is bringing back memories from last year. This is where we're at. We're at the
Ah,
crossroads of Brock Purdy getting over that hump and getting to the Super Bowl. I need your take, man. Who you got, man? Tell me.
I'm obviously going with the Niners, but I'm not feeling
Ugh.
too confident about it.
Oh
Um,
wow.
if we don't step up and play to the elite level that we have been playing all season, we are going to lose. And not just lose, I think we will lose very badly. But if
Mm.
we can actually play to the level that we know we can and work as a team and help each other out and get confident and make the plays, we will be fine. I think it's going to be a close game. I don't know. I think it's going to come down to a field goal, but we at least need to be at our greatest that we can do, guys. Help me. Niner fans are going to all have high blood pressure at the end of this. Once it's all said and done, all of us need to go to the doctor and get checked because I think we all going to have high blood pressure after this. So,
Facts.
yeah.
100%. 100%.
But
Oh
I'm going
man, this is
Niners.
tough. This
I'm
is
sorry,
tough,
Goffy
man.
Waffy. I love you. You know, you did a
This is
heck
where
of a
y'all
run
split,
for
huh?
Cal with us. I loved you, Cal, and once you went and got drafted, I still was watching you, and I was
Mm.
still rooting for you, man. But unfortunately, you gotta play the Niners right now, and
Oh, man.
this is why I have to part ways with the Lions. I'm sorry.
Ooh. Well, hey man, let's think about it, man. So this is gonna be tough, man. This is a very interesting matchup. I didn't think we would be here going into this. I didn't think it would be Detroit in the conference championship. You called that team the team to be slept on. I mean, we both had a pretty good team. I picked the Browns, you picked the Lions. Obviously, they went further. So shout out to you. You called it. I was like, I like the Seahawks. They didn't even make the playoffs,
Bro,
but
who would have ever thought that the two sleeper teams that actually would make playoffs, the
yeah,
Lions and the Browns, like
yeah,
those are the teams that you don't want to get drafted to because they ain't going nowhere. Like those are
yeah.
like the most
That's a
horrible
little different
organizations.
now.
But
Time to change
now,
now. Time to change. Time to change. Time to really change. Um, this is gonna be interesting, man. I think this game will answer a lot of questions, I think. I think on the Niners and Brock Purdy, this will be your first conference championship game, right? You got hurt the last year. You missed the whole game. This is a lot of pressure for you. This is why they sold the 3 picks for you. Well, not sold three, but this is why they traded the Trey Lance. This is why they did what they did because they believed in you, right? Obviously, we don't know what Debo. I'm pretty sure Debo's going to try to give it a go, but he may be a bit limited. So this might be a little bit more of the same lineup as far as Debo lists Niners moving forward. Which can definitely raise a big question marks about okay, what does Brock Purdy look like with not all his weapons there? Um, you know, when his weapons is there, they're almost a 30 piece lock, 24, 30 points a game, right? Lock. Without him, they're a little different, look a little limited, look more like the team that we would expect them to be. But, you know, obviously, when you have a great defense that's on the back end, you could kind of cover that, right? Well, then we got Detroit. You got a team that just finally made the playoffs, finally got to kick their foot in the door, and has definitely made themselves comfortable. Got the some chips, sandwich, soda. They in this room. Um, you know, and this is the first time for them. This is the first time for them in a long time. And would be definitely a great story for them to
if you
beat
don't
the
hurry up
Niners
and just say you
and get
choose
to
the
the Super
Lions,
Bowl.
bro, hurry up.
I just want to say, man, here's my thing though, right? Right? Like, let me ask you something. Imagine this story. Detroit, they comes into San Francisco. Nice day. The season on the line. Jared Goff, a former Cal Bear, as you would say, comes home in the conference championship and wins to go to the Super Bowl against his hometown team. Sounds like a fire story to me. I'm going with Detroit, man. It's just that simple and plain. Um, to be honest, though, I'm gonna be honest. I'm 50-50. I'm not really confident in Detroit. Never really did think they were that good, but they definitely proved me wrong. And I think that if the Niners bring the same performance we've seen last week or this past week against the Packers against the Detroit Lions, because I'm pretty sure the Detroit Lions is definitely they know what the Packers do, so they're going to try to emulate what they saw last week. They're going to try to emulate that. If Purdy is this limited or has this bad of a performance against Detroit, the Niners will go home. I will say that confidently. They will go home, or they will stay home and not go to the Super Bowl. Whatever. Um, I think that Goff is in a comfortable state right now. The offense is playing pretty well. They have a lot of weapons. Jamar Gibbs, Marseille Brown, Sam Laporter, Jameson Williams. They have a Josh Reynolds. They have a lot of weapons that the Niners got to cover for. Something they probably really ain't had to deal with really all year. Um, Obviously Detroit being an indoor team playing
You do it with the
outdoor,
Cowboys.
and we see what that happened to them. Just saying, Detroit. I mean, Cowboys kind of whatever. But anyway, I get your point though. Um, Detroit's biggest issue is can they win outdoors and somewhere that's not at home. I think that's their biggest question. However, they do have a quarterback, Golfy Waffy, as you would call him. especially coming if for anywhere for your quarterback to want to be. Why not come back home and do it at home in front of your fans that was watch you get drafted, that watched you all these years? Sound like a good story to me. Not gonna lie. Yeah.
If
I
we got
think.
Niners and Ravens in the Super Bowl, NFL scripted.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. The Niners Ravens are
You
scripted
see
for
that
sure.
logo?
Yeah, for sure. It's for sure scripted. It's
But
right there.
I
It's
seen
right
something
there.
interesting. They said that the team with the less representative color in the logo is always the one that wins. And this year, it's the red that is less represented. It's all purple and a little bit of red. So if it's scripted, there should be Ravens and Niners in the Super Bowl, and the Niners should beat the Ravens.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Hey man, look, the NFL scripted. That's nice. Cool. Um. Anywho, yeah, I got the Lions, man. I think offensively, if they can give a similar performance that we've seen, I think they'd be okay. Establish a run game. Not try to go deep or try to do nothing too crazy. Just pick their spots, dink and dunk. Amase Brown worked the short game. But I think they're gonna win. I think the Lions, if they're gonna win this game, they gotta win it defensively. They gotta make Brock Purdy work. They gotta give him issues. They gotta send pressure. They gotta make him uncomfortable. If you make Brock Purdy uncomfortable, you win the game. Simple as that. I think if you make him uncomfortable, Christian McCaffrey gets excluded out because he gonna get his. Rightfully so. Christian McCaffrey is him. He go get his. You know what I mean? But I think if you take out Brock Purdy, as far as making him uncomfortable, making him second guess himself, go to the second and third read, get pressure, I think that's gonna be the ball game. It's played the game. The game is gonna be won on defense. Whatever defense can get the stops needed at the right time. Obviously, that's very cliche, but in particular, I really think the D line, whatever D line makes the biggest impact, is going to win the game. In my opinion, I think if the Niners, because the Detroit Lions probably have one of the best O lines in the league. Jared Goff doesn't get touched for real at all. Be clean. So if the D line, if you needed your D line to play today, this week would be the week. And the same thing for Detroit. Detroit line is pretty good, but they're not really recognized to be that great, but they create a lot of pressure. And the Niners O line is really not that good. So this would be a great game to make your impact felt in this game. I think I think the D lines will dictate how this game goes. It's just that simple.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
But I'm gonna pick the Lions just to make it fun because obviously we can't be picking the same teams. No point.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So obviously we have biases to our teams. Hopefully they get in the Super Bowl. And we'll see, man. We'll see what happens, man. It's gonna be an interesting week, dog. You know what I'm saying? This next week podcast would be either great or sad for one of us.
Bro, what if it's the Chiefs and the Lions in the Super Bowl?
We will not record a podcast. You will see a FIFA game video if the Chiefs and the Lions make the Super Bowl. I promise you, you will not see a pod from us. It's going
Nah,
to
you
be
gonna see a pot. You gonna see one.
you gonna see a podcast and it's gonna be bags over our faces. You ain't gonna know who's here. Okay. It's gonna be the most boringest podcast we've ever done. We don't care. I don't care about no Lions and no Chiefs in the Super Bowl. And I'm gonna tell you right now. I was gonna do my prediction right now for them. I'm not gonna do it. Need content. I'm not gonna do it.
Okay.
Please, can we? If not one of us make it, just let us both win, so we could both have something to talk about. Please, amen.
Oh man. All
I like
right,
low key. I ain't gonna
man.
lie. This has probably been the most like I for Lamar to get in the Super Bowl. He's had to go through a lot this year as far as player teams he had to play. And if he could somehow pull this off, this next podcast will be disgusting if Lamar Jackson beats Patrick Mahomes. I'm letting you know that right now. I'm getting nasty takes off next week.
And I will give you your spotlight.
Facts. I'm promise you
I
it's
will
gonna be
ISO if Lamar beats Mahomes.
man.
I will ISO.
Forget an ISO. Walk off the court. Straight up. Walk off the court.
I'll let you in the Zoom and I'll just log off.
Just
hit
leave.
record,
I
and I'm
promise
out.
you. Out. ISO. Don't even come back. I'm gonna rant for like 20 minutes. Promise you.
I'm gonna go get me something to eat and I'll be back.
Exactly. Go get you something to eat and come right back, man. But anyway, Oh man, that does it, man, for the episode of the Fourth Rounders podcast. We didn't even say the number. We're gonna call it
21.
21, 21, 21.
21. Oh, you don't
I heard the
have
old song
how
for me.
hard.
Hey, can you hit a low rich wreck for me? 21. But anyway, man, we appreciate y'all, man. Another lovely season coming to an end, man. It's been fun. Um, yeah, very interesting to say the least. Any last words, my boy?
Nah, just look out for the next episode. We only got a couple more, so
Yeah, we got
thanks for
two
rocking
more
with us.
things. Yo, if y'all better hope that our teams win, because if they don't, y'all might not get a podcast. I'm not gonna lie to you. Not gonna lie to you.
Like, share, subscribe, 5-star rating. Love y'all. See you later. Deuces.